Welcome in Karibuni to Aroma of Zanzibar. Today I'm going to make this awesome sweet potato pie. And over here I've got 1.5 pounds of sweet potatoes, which is about 680 grams. And I'm just going to poke some holes, as you can see. And this is because I'm going to bake them, but you can always roast or boil them if you want to. All right, so I'm using the baking pan, and they're going to go in the oven at 400 degrees Fahrenheit, which is 200 Celsius, for about 40 to 45 minutes. Now, I like to rub some oil simply because it's easy to peel them once they're done. All right, I'm getting ready to make my pie crust, and I've used 1.25 cup of all-purpose flour with 1 tablespoon of sugar and 1 teaspoon of salt. And you're just going to mix this well to combine. Then I'm adding 1/4 cup of cold shortening. Please make sure, it's very important to have your ingredients very cold. That's how you're going to have your pie crust very flaky and nice, all right? And then once we rub that in, I'm going to grate in my cold butter, which is also 1/4 cup. You can use the pastry cutter, or you can also use a fork to do this if you don't want to grate it, or you can cut it into small cubes. That will also work, but just make sure that it's cold. And sometimes once I add all the ingredients like this, before I make it into a dough, I keep it in the fridge for a while. All right, so we're just going to mix this well. I'm trying to make some crumbs, but at this point I had to use my hand. I don't usually do it, but I didn't have enough time, and I was really pushing this. Okay, so I'm looking for some crumbs like that. And then I'm using about 1/4 cup of ice cold water. You can see the ice cubes there. And you're just going to make a nice fine dough. A flaky one. We are not making a dough like a bun, like how we make a bun or bread, okay? So I'm going to make this as fast as you can if you're using your hands like me. Yeah, you can use a mixer for this. And then we're just going to just get the dough to combine. That's all. We're not looking for much. Ideally, I would like to keep my dough in the fridge for about 2 hours before I work with it, but I did not have such time. So I'm just going to continue rolling it, and then I will keep it in the fridge later. All right, so you can actually keep it in the fridge for about 2 days before you work with it, or you can freeze it up to 3 weeks. If I do freeze it, I like to add few drops of lemon juice, 2 to 3 lemon juice, so that it stays fresh. All right, so I'm using this humongous 9.5-inch round, which is pretty deep. This is the only thing I could get in the market because, I only have one, and I've used it for my other pie. So it's huge. All right, so I'm just getting that done. And then that's it. We're going to roll this and place it on the pan. Okay, I missed something there, but we can manage. And I rolled this for about, I think about 2 centimeter thick. You can go between 1.5 to 3, depends how you like it. All right. And so that's it. And what I like to do now, since I didn't have the time, I'm just going to cover this up and keep it in the fridge until when I'm ready to use it. So that should be about 30 to 45 minutes. Okay, so that should be enough. And in the meantime, I decided to do this. You don't have to do this. I just like to go extra sometimes. And yeah, I was waiting for my potatoes. I didn't have anything to do. So you can, if you want to, you can do hearts, you can do stars. But what I should have done is I should have just kept an extra rim there of the dough, the pastry, to make it look better. But I wasn't thinking. So I did put some water there to stick them like that. And then once they're done, I did some egg wash. Just to get some nice color, golden color. And then wrap it up again and keep it in the fridge till I'm ready to use it. All right, so now my sweet potatoes are ready. I actually like to peel them while they're hot, but they were extra hot, so I had to wait for them to cool a little bit. And what I like to do is, since I cool them, to remove the skin, and then I put them in the microwave for about a minute or so that they become hot, because I like to beat them or mash them while they're hot. All right, so you can see this the steam coming out. Now you can use a blender, you can use food processor, you can use hand mixer. You don't have to use only stand mixer. All right, so we're just gonna beat this up, and then I add my butter, which is 1/4 cup. You can use melted butter, but since the potatoes were hot, I just went ahead and put the butter. It's gonna melt. Make sure it's soft though. All right, and then at this point, I like to add my 1/4 cup of brown sugar and 1/2 cup of white sugar. You can do all white sugar if you don't have brown sugar. 1 teaspoon of cinnamon and 1 teaspoon of nutmeg, and a 1/4 teaspoon of cloves, and 2 teaspoons of lemon juice. You can use lime or you can use orange. This is just to enhance the flavors, all right? And then about 2 teaspoons of vanilla. And we're just going to mix this well. Then I went in and added my milk, which is 1/2 cup. I'm using whole milk, but you can use evaporated or you can use half and half. It depends what you're looking for. All right, so I'm basically looking for a nice, thick puree, silky puree. Okay, so you can go ahead and do this as long as you want, not as long as you want. Then you're going to taste it and see if you need to add anything else. If you need to add more sugar, I needed to add a little cinnamon extra. And for my eggs, I'm using 1 whole egg with 1 yolk. Okay, just to get that extra richness and, to bind better. But some people like to add flour. You can add maybe a tablespoon of flour. That would work as well. Then I add my eggs, and we continue to whip this. And there it is. This is the consistency I'm looking for. So you can use maybe extra milk, or you can beat it longer. All right. And that's it. So now we are ready to bake, and my oven is ready at 350. You want to just shake it. 350. It cooked for 350 degrees for about 1 hour. All right. So you see how beautiful it looks. And I did shake it while I was trying to take pictures. And once it's cooled, please wait for it to cool. Mine wasn't really cooled the way I wanted it to, but like I say, I was in a hurry and I had to get this video out for you before Thanksgiving. All right, so let's check it out. But I like the consistency, and I wasn't on diet anymore. I had to eat this whole piece of pie. I didn't have to, but I did. It's nice and light and not so thick. So that's it. And if you want to go extra, I've got my heavy whipping cream with cinnamon and a little bit. I had those leaves left. Well, thank you so much. For more recipes, please visit me at Aroma of Zanzibar, and you will find the list of ingredients and measurements on this page. Thank you.